Hello, my name is Abigail Segura, and I will be discussing the topic of free software on the web. My presentation will cover sections 1.2.4, and I will concentrate on the topic of free stuff. I will also discuss section 4.6, free software, which includes the topics 4.6.1, what is free software, and 4.6.2, should all software be free. I will begin by discussing the free stuff that is available to the public on the web. The textbook, A Gift of Fire, Social, Legal, and Ethical Issues for Computing and the Internet, written by Sarah Bass, explains that before the Internet, public places, such as the library, provided and still provide free access to books, newspapers, and journals. Before the Internet and computers were invented, it was the television that provided us with free news and shows to entertain us. With the invention of both the Internet and computers, we have much more convenient access to free stuff than we did before. For example, just for our computers alone, we have access to free email programs and accounts, filters, firewalls, encryption software, software to manipulate photos, software for viewing documents and videos, anti-spam software, antivirus software, and much more. The list of free stuff on the internet is quite extensive because not only is free software provided, but also services such as Skype, Craigslist, dating sites, major music festivals, social networks, Google offers free books to download, and much more. Now the question is, how are these free websites funded? We know libraries are funded by the taxes we pay, and radio and television broadcasting is funded by advertisers. Well, it is also advertising that is responsible for paying for many free sites. Even though the majority of free sites are funded by advertisers, sites such as Wikipedia do not include any type of advertisements. Instead, Wikipedia is funded by donations. There is also Craigslist, which charges certain businesses and brokers who post announcements on their site, and this keeps the service free for the rest of us. It is people who have a passion, hobby, or simply just ordinary people that enjoy sharing their online talent with the public for free, and this is one of the great things about the internet. Like I previously mentioned, there is plenty of free software on the web that is available for the public to use. I will now discuss what free software is. According to Bass, free software is an idea, an ethic, advocated and supported by a large, loose-knit group of computer programmers who allow and encourage people to copy, use, and modify their software. Typically, there is no charge for using free software, yet the idea of free software mainly stands for the freedom we have when it comes to using it. Free software participants agree with the unrestricted copying of programs and making the human readable form of a program, also known as the source code, available to the public. Richard Stallman is the most popular founder and advocate of the free software movement. He began the GNU project, a computer operating system, in the 1970s. GNU programs include many compliers and utilities, and these programs are available at no cost. GNU programs are very popular among skilled amateur programmers and computer professionals. These programs include the source code, and this makes it possible for programmers to find and fix bugs quickly. The GNU project also allows users to adapt and improve programs and even create new or improve programs from already existing ones. The GNU project created the concept of copyleft in order to enforce the openness of sharing free software in a legal manner. Bass explains that copyleft allows for a developer to copyright the program and release it with an agreement that permits the public to use it as well as modify it and distribute it, meaning that no one can put a restriction on a program that has been developed from a copylefted program. Technical savvy programmers were the main ones who first used free software for quite a while. The use of free software frustrated commercial software companies, but this view eventually changed with the Linux operating system. Linus Torvalds wrote the main component of the Linux system in 1991. He then distributed it for free on the internet. A global network of free software enthusiasts continued to develop the system on their free time. This computer operating system was not very well accepted at first because it was not easy to use, thus not made for a consumer or business product. An early user of the operating system was the NASA Goddard Space Flight Center. The company that did the special effects for the movie Titanic was also one of the first users of Linux. Eventually, small companies sold a version of Linux, along with manuals and technical support. Major computer companies began using the computer operating system, and not only did they use it, but also support it and market it. As the computer operating system improved, many large businesses and several movie studios used Linux. The creation of Linux allowed for companies to see the benefit of free software, and thus its use has become more popular and accepted, and according to Base, has even become a competition for Microsoft. In fact, there are several companies that create source codes for their own products, and this allows that the programs be used for non-commercial applications. On the other hand, free software also has its weaknesses. Critics and supporters have stated that much free software is not easy for ordinary consumers to use. They also point out that if someone has problems with the program, there is no technical support number one can call for help. Since it is possible for the programs to be modified by anyone, there are many versions of one software, and as a result, this creates confusion for businesses and non-technical consumers. In order to resolve these problems, programmers have created new businesses to support and enhance free software, such as Red Hat for Linux. And having more established businesses like these helps embrace the movement of free software. Overall, free software is software that can be legally modified, copied, and used by anyone. Along with the popularity and acceptance of free software, derives a controversial topic: should all softwares be free? There are people in the free software movement who believe that no copyright should protect software, but instead they state that all software should be open source, free software. There are many ways and points of view that we can approach the question, such as, should free software be the only thing? And should we change the legal structure to require it? Stallman states that the aspect of proprietary software that does not allow people to make copies of and change programs unless they have the approval of the publisher is ethically wrong. His argument is that by copying a program, no one is being taken away the privilege to use the program. He also refers to the U.S. Constitution and explains that the primary purpose of copyright is to promote progress in arts and sciences, not to compensate writers. Those against the copying of programs focus more on the impact of the market and lack of income that results from such action. It is the concepts of copyleft and GNU that protect the freedom of free software within the current legal framework. Furthermore, the web has plenty to offer to the public. We have free access to both informative and entertainment sites, as well as free software. Free software can be a controversial topic in the world of technology, and people such as Richard Stallman and Linus Torvalds have worked towards the acceptance of free software. We saw how the Linux operating system became so successful as a result of it being free software and thus allowing for many intelligent programmers to improve the quality of the program. There are also concepts such as the copyleft and the GNU project that protect the rights of free software. We have met very easy access to free stuff on the web, yet the work behind it can be complex and involve the work of thousands of people. Thank you.